Kayla Flatter. We have grown up in an era where everything we do is interconnected and shared for everyone around us to see. This sounds great because we will now have documentation of our generation for future ages to see. However, do we realize that what we post on social media has the potential to stay there forever? For instance, today our speech is being recorded and uploaded to YouTube. In my case, public speaking is definitely not one of my strong suits, so coming to this realization that it might be around forever is very nerve-wracking for me. Social media has many unseen impacts on our society. We must be aware that although social media has benefited our society greatly, we still need to be able to look out for the ways it can negatively impact us physically, mentally, and within our personal and professional relationships. I'm sure everyone in this room can recall a time when they have witnessed someone or themselves getting bullied or harassed via social media. Is this because it is very easy to hide behind a screen and say what you would never say to someone in person? Social media has created an easy outlet for people to voice what they are thinking without experiencing the true consequences that come with doing so. This has led to a negative impact in the overall mental health of our nation. According to an article written by Ashka Memon, social media use by minors has significantly increased and has been linked to depression and suicide. Simultaneously, age-adjusted suicide rates have steadily increased over the past decade in the United States, with suicide being the second most common cause of death in the youth. Hence, the increase in suicide rate parallels simultaneously with the increase in social media use. In addition, the rate of non-suicidal self-injury ranges between 14 and 20% among young people. Evidence suggests that self-harming youth is more active on social media networks than those who do not engage in self-harming behavior. In addition to this, social media usage indirectly produces unhealthy sleeping patterns, which I would assume everyone in this room is very familiar with. I myself am guilty of staying up all night, browsing through Instagram, or watching videos on YouTube. As you can see in this visual right here, 87% of people conducted in the survey stated that they use their phone before going to sleep, and this ultimately increases your brain's activity, making it much harder for you to fall asleep. Typically, it is easier to recognize what is occurring to us physically rather than mentally. In my situation, this was definitely true. Around my freshman year of high school, I started to become very hard on myself. I became very interested in the modeling industry and fashion. I began watching influencers on platforms like YouTube talk about their fitness and very unhealthy diets they have done. This really had an immense influence on me. It became my life for the next 3 months. I remember constantly asking myself questions like, why can't I look like her, or how much weight should I lose in order to be considered pretty? Questions like these should never go through someone's mind, let alone someone this young. In my opinion, the only reason that these questions surfaced in my mind was due to the body image standards that social media has set for our generation. I ended up losing 50 pounds in those 3 months in a very unhealthy way. Social media has created such unrealistic expectations that have induced unnecessary pressure on our youth. In the article, Fitspiration at its worst, Amy Clark reveals that a German study showed that almost half of 25 to 74-year-old women and 1/3 of men the same age had body dissatisfaction. Our generation now feels the need to Photoshop their pictures in order to fit these standards, and this creates a false reality. I'm sure everyone has seen a celebrity or influencer promoting products that they claim to live by. This sounds very beneficial to those who are in the marketing industry, because who doesn't want to use products that their favorite celebrity uses? However, in most cases, the products being used aren't even being used, like the products being promoted aren't even being used by the stars, like they're just in it for the money. One case in particular that comes to mind is when celebrities will say, this skincare product is the reason that I don't have wrinkles and I look so youthful, but in reality they get ridiculous amounts of surgery to make themselves look like that, and we all know that. In our generation, you must be aware and careful that not everything you see and read online is a reality. The internet and social media have created a whole new communication system where people from across the world are able to interact with one another effortlessly in a matter of seconds. Of course, this is a major advancement to our society, but this must be used with caution. With this capability that social media has given us, online dating has become very widespread. With this, This has created a very vulnerable environment for those who are able to hide their real selves behind a screen and manipulate those who they are trying to attract. We often forget that what we post online has the potential to be seen by people we wouldn't expect or desire to see it. As college students, it is very crucial that we need to remember that in a matter of 4 years or less, all the hard work we have been putting in is finally going to pay off by getting a position in the career that we have been wanting to be in. While in the interviewing process, now many hirers will take a look at all of your online accounts to ensure that you are the right fit for the position. Therefore, it is so imperative that you come off as a professional. In summary, being unaware of the potential negative influences social media can inflict on us can greatly influence your life. Although social media has beneficial influences on our society, such as documenting information and connecting people from around the world, we must be cautious with the ways we are utilizing these great qualities. It is sometimes difficult to realize that the dangerous internal and external consequences that it can have on our personal selves and our relationships. We must find a way to control and override these destructive disadvantages.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Susan. Kayla.
Do you think it's more important to limit social media or to just raise awareness about like the false realities?
Well, as an educator personally, I think that in the youth, for sure, it is very important that parents are making sure that their children aren't getting on social media as much as they actually are, because I know, like, I was in elementary helpers in high school, and I heard first graders talking about their Instagrams and Snapchats. I was like, that was just crazy to me, but I really think, like, at our age, it's more important that we're just aware of, like, what can happen. Like, what happened to me, like, I just got so caught up in, like, wanting to lose weight and seeing other people, it really affected me. So I feel like we just need to be aware of the consequences that could happen.
May I hear your motion?